Well, that year when I first moved up to management, I had a goal for myself to bring in at least 15 advisors by the end of the year. One of the biggest challenge I faced initially was, where do I find these people? Where can I find people who are currently looking for jobs, looking for a career switch or fresh grads, like where can I find them? So the initial first year, the strategy that I used was very much quite traditional. I actually subscribed to some of the job portals, we don't need names, right? So some of the job portals, and we did this thing called the resume mining. So these are people who are looking for jobs, and they have submitted their resume up, and read through the resume and see if this person is suitable, and give them a call, ask them to come out for an interview. And it was a terrible experience. You know what? The first year, I meet over 120 candidates first year, right? You guess how many of them I managed to shortlist?
5.
I managed to shortlist 8 to 9, and then they were taking exams. But by the end of the exams, 5 dropped out. I managed to only have 3 who stayed with me the whole year. So it was really a very terrible experience. It is tiring, time-consuming, and expensive because that software costs money. If you want to ensure that you can recruit well, right, the first strategy that you need to develop, right, is your lead generation capability. Do you have a system in place that give you qualified, targeted leads on a monthly basis consistently? Because a lot of times, it's not that the recruiting managers don't want to work; they don't have candidates to meet how to work. Where can you find people who is so coincidentally looking for jobs and just then hit all the criteria of pre-qualification that is important? So you need to have a system in place that generate you consistent leads on a monthly basis. If not, you don't have candidates to meet. If you have no candidates to meet, you have no interviews, and no interviews, you have no candidates and out here. So thankfully, I managed to get that set up pretty soon after my job portal experience. And eventually, my first year, I got in 17 advisors, 3 left in the end, so I had 14 at the end of the year. So I would say fantastic. I think still pretty decent, right? Can be better if I would have developed that system earlier on. The second challenge that I faced was that I didn't know how to connect with co-candidates, people that I've never met before. Relate to them, because back then I didn't have that concept of different target audience. We have different audience, different group of people who will be considering our industry or our career, right? So I didn't know how to resonate with them in the initial part. So I didn't have a closing system. So that's the second strategy you need to have. So the first thing you need to have is a lead generation system in place. The second strategy that you need to have in place is your closing strategy. How do you pre-qualify as fast as you can so that you don't waste time on non-qualified candidates? Right? How do you filter out people that is not suitable for your culture, not suitable to the environment? Right? There are 4 questions that I ask you to learn. Right? So first question I ask, right, is do I like this person? Right? The first impression, do I like this person? If I don't like this person, chances are the clients or prospect will not like this person. Right? Can I trust this person? Can I manage this person? Can this person fit into the culture, the current culture that we have? If he fail 2 out of 4, right, then I would say it's a no-no. If it's just 1, I think we can still compromise a little bit here. So the second strategy that you must have in your recruitment project, right, is that you need to make sure that you have a closing system. Is it a step-by-step interview process, or is it a meeting where you just ask any question you like and just share any stories you have, or do you have a system in place to convert qualified candidate which you like, and you know that you can groom them well, they can fit well in the culture, and they can be an asset to the team? Do you have a system in place to convert those people? Because the worst feeling is that people who you don't want join you, and people that you want don't want to join you. Right? So you need to make sure that you have these 2 things in place. Once you have these 2 things in place, your recruitment becomes effortless really. It's just having routines in place. Right? At least for your first year, thinking about building a sizable team within the first year.